going to stick with Nobel Prizes. Here's one. Here's a dude who was like nominated. This is like the Tom Cruise of Nobel Prizes. He was nominated quite a few times, but he's never won. Shame. And that was Mahatma Gandhi. Yay. Nominated a few times. Then, that's why your first fact threw me a little bit, because he was nominated the one year and then he died, was assassinated. And so they decided not to award it that year. So that's like giving it to him or something. Or maybe it was the year before. And then, because of that rule.
Well, I mean...
Well, the rule was a 1970s rule, hey?
Yeah, no. So I heard that effectively they did nominate him. Because the nomination process is insane. As many as 3,000 people can be nominated for it every single year. Yeah, for it every single year. All you have to do is fall within the kind of requirements. And you are unlikely to ever know if you were nominated for a Nobel Prize, because they only unlock the nominations 50 years after the nominations were made. So we're starting to get those kind of Gandhi, we're starting to work out exactly. So Gandhi was nominated 5 times, but they never gave it to him. And in fact, I know that the committee expressed regret afterwards when he died that they hadn't given it to him at some stage.
Yes. Yeah, so I researched Gandhi, and I've got a fact about Gandhi. And as I was researching it, I realized I've heard a lot of things about him. I haven't seen the movie with Ben Kingsley. I haven't read a lot of things about him. And I know very little about his complex life. Strange, crazy, beautiful life. And if he's seen as a hero in the world, I always like to be proudly South African and say, hey, we helped create a bit of that, because Gandhi, here's my fact, spent 21 years in South Africa.
I mean, he did. Absolutely.
Did you know?
There's a reason why Gandhi Square in Joburg is named Gandhi Square,
So you're saying it 21 is...
I don't know if it's 21, but it's around about that amount of time. You could be lying to me. No. You could be doing your Ryan-esque lying where you're like, it's 17 years.
No, I was actually so blown away that I didn't mess with that one. You're spot on. 21 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, there's places that are named after him. We've got a lot of statues to Gandhi as well.
Yeah.
In South Africa. Yeah. I like to imagine everybody's like, he's a little skinny man, and he must have weighed like 45 kilos. I think he weighed 85 because his balls.
He stood up to some monstrous
he wasn't.
people.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid.
And the story is very sad because he studied in London for 3 years. He was part of some inner temple thing to become a advocate or a bar at the bar, the legal thing.
Oh, yeah, or an attorney, yeah.
Yeah, and then he went back to India, and then he got a message to go and work in Durban as an attorney, and I was like, yeah, cool, this is going to be great. And got there, and you just realized how crap they were treated, and kicked off a train in Pietermaritzburg, and then a crazy life. Also fought in the second South African war, what was called the Anglo-Boer War, and he started a regiment of just Indian people, and fought for the British, and he wanted to almost show the British that they were keen, they were on board, and then after the war, you're going to make us equal, give us the vote, all that stuff. And there was like, well, sure we will. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. And then afterwards, like, no, never mind that. And there was like, what? And he was like, what the fuck? He was like, what the fuck? Don't do that.
No, it's fine.
What the fuck? And then, quite a bit of time in Joburg. He started a bit of an ashram thing, which they called a Tolstoy farm, named after the dude in Russia, the author. Uh-huh. And so I was like, what? He started an ashram in Joburg, like a farm, a retreat thing. A farm, and you help people. I don't know. But it's like, where is it today? It's just to the left of part of outskirts of Alberton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was charging people to go to Alberton for peace.
You
can't go to Alberton for peace. You go to Alberton to get murd. You don't go to Alberton for peace.
There's those who were getting murd in the bars, and shame you get murd coming out to Gandhi's farm. But it was there in the Ritvlei, what's now the Ritvlei Nature Reserve. And it's quite funny because I think when I was back in Joburg, I was part of a church which was starting a new church, and they were just starting up, and it was in Alberton, and I think they used to meet on a Sunday evening at that Ritvlei farm. It's now called, I don't know what it's called, something farm. Yeah, but it's but the property is now owned by. This is so sad. It's owned by Korabrik, and they're like, oh yeah. So the foundation of the farmhouse is still there. It was like, we might do something with it, maybe.
Oh, so they're aware of its history at least.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yeah, Korabrik.
Well, this could easily have been one of your facts from the Joburg podcast.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of Gandhi in, as I say, Gandhi Square, which is the central bus terminus.
Yeah. I know
it. In the center of Joburg. It's a fitting tribute for a man who used to walk everywhere. To name a bus terminus after him.
Do you know he got married when he was 13?
I mean,
his wife was 14.
Okay,
what a player!
At 13,
but it was arranged. It was very much arranged.
No, at 13, I was some 6 years away from kissing a girl.
And he had 4 kids. 4 kids. Didn't even know he had kids. I thought he was this kind of monkish type of chap. I don't know what happened to his wife in his latter years.
No, I told you, Ryan. The 40-kilogram testicles. The man had to do something with them. He had to, of course he had 4 kids. Yeah. No, man, his kids have gone on, well, certainly his relatives have gone on to be big political players in India over
Seriously?
the years. Yeah. I'm going to say that boldly with a kind of only half-remembered idea about it. But I seem to recall that.
Wow, man. There's my Gandhi fact. 21 years in South Africa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.